Okay, so here we are again working on our Apple Notes. And I think what I did, I've made a couple of videos on how to use the Apple Notes, but I think I put the cart before the horse, as they say, because I think this is one of the first things you need to understand, and that's how to make sure that your settings are correct for your Notes app. So again, this is the screenshot of my iPad, my home page of the iPad, and up here, this is where we're going. We're going to go up here and we're going to tap on the Settings app, because what we want to do in Settings is make any corrections that we need to make for our Notes app. So let's get started. Okay, so now we've tapped on the Settings app, and this is what we see. This is going to take us to the Settings page, and what we want to do is scroll down here to the Notes. And when you tap on this, you can see that this has been highlighted, then all of a sudden this shows up. Okay, so what we want to do is kind of go over a few of these things so that they make sense to you. I think Siri and search, I think everybody knows what that is. And of course, English, that's the language that I'm using. And if you're not understanding me, then oh well. So that's a pretty obvious thing. Okay, so now the next thing, this is what we want to discuss. Okay, and that is accounts. Okay, now I have the iCloud as my default account. So see how this little arrow, so we're going to tap on that arrow and it's going to bring up this little menu. And you can see that, okay, we've got two choices. You can either use the iCloud as your main account or you can use On My iPad. Now, that's pretty simple to understand. iCloud is going to have whatever you create in an iCloud note is going to go to everything that you have connected to that iCloud account. So in other words, for me, let's say I created on my iPad, but it's also going to show up on my phone, my iPhone, and it's going to show up on my computer. So if I was to create the note on my iPad, that's exactly where it would be, on my iPad. It's not going anywhere else. And so that's why I like to have it iCloud, because I want to take full advantage of this, this choice. So, okay, now that we understand that, so the next thing down here is passwords. Okay, so if you want to lock a note, then you need to tap on this little screen on passwords, and it's going to bring up this menu. Okay, now for me, the iPad that I'm using now has Face ID, so of course I have this checked. Maybe yours has like the thumbprint, or maybe you would rather just have it choose a password. So this is where you set that up. So okay, so now we understand passwords and what that's for. That's to lock a note, and this is going to be the password or the whatever you use just for that. Okay, so next is the On My iPad account. Now we just discussed that a minute ago, and the reason I have this checked is because I had created that video earlier about how to use the Apple Notes, and because I'm a big user of Apple Notes, I've got over 1,000 notes in my account, and but I have them under the iCloud. And I thought this would just be so difficult to try and wade through. I thought, how can I make it clear? And I realized that I could tap this, and what that did was it opened up a brand new, very clean slate, and I was able to, create folders and notes and stuff. So I could. That's why I did that. Now I'm going to be erasing that. But that's why I have that checked. But maybe that's all you want. Maybe you want only to have your notes like on your device. You don't want them in the cloud. So if you want to do that, then this is where you have to do the check. You have to have that checked to create that particular account. Okay, so I think that's, that covers this. So now let's go to the next page. Okay, so I scroll down, and here we are on viewing. Now, all right, let's look at the first thing. So it's saying sort notes by, and I've checked title. So as you can see, there's the little thing. So what we're going to do is tap that, and you can see the choices that you have. Now, I personally like having it sorted by the title. That way things are thrown in alphabetical order, and it makes sense to me, and I can look it up. But maybe you need something different. So you do have these other choices. You can have it sorted by the date that it's edited or the date created. So, that's just your choice. Okay, so now let's see. The next thing, notes start with title. So, if you wanted to choose it to start with something else, you can do that. But for me, I like to have the note, and then I put, like, at the top, the first line of the note is, just kind of a description of what the note's all about. That way it's easy for me to look things up. Okay, now what's this next thing? Sort checked items. Okay, so we're going to go over here and see what that is. I had shown you that on that other video I made when I made the grocery list, and I had those little circles besides, all my little items, and as I was at the grocery store, I could tap on those. Now, this is where you get it to sort automatically. So if you've got it set on sort automatically, then when you tap on those, they automatically jump to the bottom of the list. And that leaves all the things at the top, are easy for you to see, and those are the ones you still need to look for. So I hope that makes some sense to you. Okay, so the next thing is lines and grids. So let's go here and see what it is. Okay. Now, for the most part, you're probably going to want to just have this selected, and that's just a blank screen. But maybe you want to have it, with some lines or grids or something. Now, if you're going to write notes, sometimes I like writing, and I can't write straight. So, having the lines, that's pretty helpful. Maybe that's too tight, so get this one over here. It's a little bit better. So, that's a good choice to think about. So just, but now you don't even start out with this. Go ahead and just leave it at that. And when you're inside a note, if you go up to that upper right corner, the box with an arrow going up, by tapping on that, it will give you the choice. You can go back in here and change it to, one of these others, the lines or grids. So, if you don't have it you don't have to have it on here all the time. You're able to make the changes within the note itself. Okay. Now, I have my notes in a dark background. But you can have it dark or light. Now, media, save to photos. Okay, so when you are making a note, and if you, within that note that you're creating, if you take a picture or video, then by having this check like this, then that photo or video will automatically go into your Photos app. So if you don't want that, if you don't want those saved, then don't have that checked, okay? Now, the next thing is access notes from lock screen. I like to be able to do that. I have my notes in, easy access, which I like that, but, that's just your choice. If you don't want to have it on lock screen, then, you don't have to do that. All right, now let's see what the next thing. Okay, so we're actually coming to a close. I've scrolled down a little bit more, and this is the last thing. And where it says only draw with the Apple Pencil. By having this checked, it's great. I love the Apple Pencil, so I use this. I have it checked. But when you have it checked like this, then you can't write with your fingers. So if you have it checked and you don't have an Apple Pencil, and you're trying to write with your finger and it's not working, then you need to go back to your settings and uncheck this. So anyway, but the Apple Pencil, it's kind of interesting. I had another iPad that I had bought an actual the original iPad, the original Apple Pencil, and I loved it, and I used it. And now this is my new iPad, and I love it. But I can't use my old Apple Pencil. Is that not crazy? So I decided to check and see what else I could do, and I got it's called Logi. I guess that's Logi. I don't know how you pronounce that, but anyway, this pencil, and it's great. It works just as well as the Apple Pencil, and it was way less. And anyway, but I'm pretty happy with it. So anyway, I do like the pencil. It's a great thing to have. So anyway, I hope that this has kind of helped you understand the settings for the notes, and I hope it clears up any questions that you might have. So have a good one. Thank you.